Hey, everybody, and welcome to Expert Photography Secrets. We've got Serge joining us here in just a couple minutes, and we're going to get started ASAP. So first of all, say hello. Tell us where you're from in the chat window. And hey, everybody, and welcome to Expert Photography Secrets. We got Serge. There we go. All right. So again, Serge is going to be joining us in just a moment. If you have not uploaded your RAW files, please go ahead and make sure you upload your RAW files so Serge can retouch them at the end. Welcome Supra from Fullerton. Welcome Avery Ed, New York. Nick from Albuquerque. We've got Jess from Tennessee and Denver. Let's see. We've got, can't really tell your name, but we got somebody visiting from Mexico. We've got Jackie from Idaho. All right, so I'm going to send, so some of you don't have the link, so I'm going to send you guys the link here. Give me just a second so you can upload yours. Welcome, Kimberly from Tennessee. We've got Lauren from Belgium. Welcome. All right, give me just a second, guys, here, and I'm going to get this link uploaded for you. So 1 second.
So I might have a little audio issue here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, Serge. We can hear you now. Okay, sorry about that, guys. We had a little technical glitch, but we've got Serge with us now. And Serge, you can just click your start audio button and you should pop right in, as I did.
Okay, there. Cool. Bonjour. Bonjour, bonjour.
Yes, and for those of you who just joined us, I added the Dropbox link. So if you haven't uploaded your RAW file for Serge to retouch at the end, please go ahead and click that link and you can upload it there. All right? All right, we've got Nick. Welcome, Nick. We've got Jess, GTV. Welcome, Jess. We've got a lot of people joining us. John from Florida. We've got Ellie from St. Louis, Missouri. Elizabeth from St. Louis, Missouri. Rajesh from India. Welcome. Dick from Massachusetts. All right, great. We got people uploading. Excellent.
Yeah, so send me your RAW files if you want me to retouch them. I'm going to be retouching them at the end of this webinar. And I got 87 RAW file that just came in, so I won't be able to do everything, but I'll critique a lot of photos, and it's and I'll show you a lot of the stuff, and voila.
Wonderful. I think we're ready to get rolling here.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and then I will get rolling right away. So share screen. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being there. I hope you're going to enjoy this little webinar. It's called Expert Photography Secrets. Do you see that my screen? You should see it full screen any second. Okay, now.
Yeah, we've got it full screen now. Wonderful.
Okay, great. So I'm going to get started. We should have some people joining in, but I'm just going to get started and maybe just say hello to a few people before we start really quick. Let's see here. So bonjour, Nick, Jesse, Yusuf, Kim, Ed. Don't hesitate to say hi in the chat. We've got Davey from Belgium, JCG TV, and Mr. Steinmetz. I have sent a set of 3 exposure of the Ponte Vecchio just before sunrise, taken as a bracket for a GR. Can't wait to see that. We'll see that at the end of the webinar. Gary King is here. All right, guys, let's get started. So this, and I'm going to be, as I said, a lot of people are joining in. I'm going to be retouching this at the end of the webinar. This is my expert photography secrets, and it's basically is how to be a successful photographer without expensive gear, formal education, and years of practice. Anyway, I'll go into this later, but I'm going to give you a free bonus you can put into action right away at the end of this webinar that includes skies that you can put into your photos, textures, profile, and presets. And I will also give you videos and tutorials on how to use them. My goal is to have two types of people: the amateur that wants to become pro and make a living out of photography, and the amateur who does not care about making money with photography, but just wants to take the best possible photo for friends and family to enjoy. Don't forget, if you stay until the end, I have a free bonus you can put into action immediately. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about a story about this photo. Oops, my camera is getting blurry. All right, sorry about that. This photo is a photo I shot of Paris. It's Le Pont de la Tournelle. It's the bridge that's right behind Notre Dame when you're going to Notre Dame. And I've been doing photography professionally for 8 years now. As a hobby, another 8 years or 7 years, 15 years in total. Actually, no, sorry, 2005. So 2005, 13 years in total. And this photo up to now is the photo I sold for the most amount of money. And it was shot with a Canon T2i, 12 million pixel, very noisy, just like a beginner's camera from Canon. So that tells me that, knowing the basic principle of photography and post-processing is the fastest way to be a great photographer, and it's a lot more simple than you think. You see, I went from nothing, and I've never been to school for photography at all. And I went from nothing to 520,000 followers on YouTube. I'm an official speaker for Adobe. I've published 4 coffee table books. Probably one of my biggest proud achievement as a photographer is so New York and Paris in black and white, Ansel Adams type style, very dramatic black and white, and then very colorful Venice and Los Angeles. I've also published about 14 books on Amazon, like technical books. I've been published in over 400 magazines, including twice in National Geographics. But, and this is where I make good money with photography, my work is in over 85 galleries around the world, mainly in the Yellow Corner network. And I really want you guys to be able to, you see, it's important to monetize your passion, because if you can find a way to make money with photography, then you can do more photography, And that's really, I first started into interior design, and now I'm just doing fine art, and the fine art is doing really well. As I said, Yellow Corner is a big network. They have amazing locations. Like in Paris, they are in the Louvre. They are right in front of the Saint-Germain-des-Prés church. I mean, you're talking prime location. So today I have a great success. I'm making more money as a fine art photographer than I ever made in my entire life. But before 2004, I never touched a camera in my life, never. I started really late in life. I started really at 34, 35 years old. But I want to give you a little story. When I was a kid, when I was 14, I went to see The Return of the Jedi in 1984. And this movie changed my life completely, because it gave me an awareness, well, that maybe we're not alone in the universe, but also everybody at school, my friends, my family were so blown away by the movies that, I realized that doing an art piece like Star Wars, can really affect a lot of people's life. And I wanted to affect people's life like this with art. I wanted to be an actor or a director, actually mostly an actor back then. I wanted to play some kind of Jedi or something. And, I went to theater school. I did a lot of theater in school. I wanted to get into acting, but then, honestly, I did not, I didn't believe I could do it. I thought that I was not good enough, and that, that I was not born with a talent. So anyways, it was a pretty bad time in my life. So I decided, to go for the other passion that I had, which was coding. So I started, coding when I started learning. I didn't go to college. I learned everything by myself. I started doing coding back in 1988 or 9. I started with like GFA Basic on an Atari 520 ST. If you are from my generation, then I did a lot of assembly language. Then I got into Visual Basics, and I did a lot of sort of Microsoft type of coding. I liked it. I love coding. I'm a computer geek. I love what computers can do in our life, but I hated the idea of being sitting at a desk all day long. I was a very early dad. That's my daughter, Marine. She was born when I was 24 years old. And I just really got bored of coding all the time. So what I did is I went into sales. I divorced and I got remarried. And my new wife had 3 young boys that I raised. And now I had a big family of 4 kids. I started working for my brother who created a company. So I basically went into coding up to the age of 26, 27. And at the age of 28, I went into sales. Started working for my brother, which had a company called 1001 Web Promotion. It was like imagine this is 1998. This is, just when internet was starting. And he was he was one of the first guy doing websites for a lot of people. 1 second, my dog is knocking at the door. I need to open. Yeah. Sorry about that. That happens live, I'm alone in the house, so sometimes it's kind of rough. Anyways, so I had 4 kids. I was working for this web agency, and I started being very successful as a salesman. It took a few years to get there, but by the age of 34, we had the kids were big. I needed to provide, making 5 people, had to feed 6 people. And so bought a big house, I had a big mortgage, and financially it was very heavy, but I was making decent money. But now I'm like 35. I'm like, I am never going to be the artist I wanted. Now I'm like, I've got 4 kids. I got a mortgage. I've got, I needed basically 10,000 euros just to cover maybe 9,000 euros. That's crazy, just to be able to, the tax are very high in France, and the real estate market is, anyway, just to be able to feed everybody, And so in one way, I was kind of happy because I had a great family and a job that I still liked. On the other hand, I really felt that I was going to arrive at the age of 60 and never be an artist. And that really made me sad. And something happened when I was 34 years old. I went, it was a funny story. I did a real estate deal, and the agent of the real estate offered, it was a big deal. It was a big money deal at the time, offered us a week of vacation in Guadeloupe, the French Caribbean islands. And so we went there, and I went there with my best buddy, Calvin, and a whole bunch of friends, because we were many people involved in that real estate deal. And he showed me Photoshop for the first time. I had never taken a photo. So I just bought a small camera just for the trip. And I took a photo of a girl that was with us, a good friend of mine, Joël Robin. And we were at the beach. And then he says, "Oh, have you heard about Photoshop?" I said, "No." So he starts opening up Photoshop, and he starts showing me how, he raised, everything, like the tourist behind her arms, and made her made the clouds, become bigger and stuff like that. And at the time, I because I was thinking about getting back into art, I was starting to take acting lessons again, and I was starting to make short movies, because I really wanted, just as a hobby, I wanted to get some art in my life. But honestly, I was going nowhere. The main problem that I had back then is that the cameras were super expensive to do any sort of movies. We didn't have like today videos with DSLR. That only came in 2008. This is 2004. Anyways, so I said, you know what? At least until I can figure out this movie making thing, until I can figure out this acting thing, I'm going to be taking photos. And I came back and I started making so much mistakes because I knew nothing. I had no idea what aperture was, what shutter speed was, nothing, And I went into the first bookstore that I could find. Michael, your sound is on if you want to turn it off. Anyways, I went into the first bookstore that I could find, and I bought a whole bunch of books. And honestly, most of them I couldn't understand anything. I mean, back in 2004, 2005, it was a teaching scene of was really bad. Like I had a hard time. I almost gave up, but I was like, this is the only thing that I've got going for me that's artistic. I'd given up on acting, I'd given up on directing. I at least wanted to get some success in photography. So I kept on learning. I eventually found some books from Scott Kelby where I could figure out how Photoshop was working, an amazing guy. And anyways, I remember it took me like 6 months to figure out how the camera worked. I don't know why. I just had the wrong books. And one night I decided to shoot Paris by night. And it's the first time I got sharp photos, and I was kind of, happy about it. So I started right after sunset all the way up to 2 o'clock in the morning. And then so this is like the Carousel. This is the Louvre in Paris. And honestly, I hated this photo today. Hold on. Michael, can you hear me? No, he doesn't hear us. Fine. Just want him to turn off his sound. Anyway, so, this is Montmartre by night. And then I remember the next day I was so excited. So I went, I ran into the office of the photographer, because in the agency we were working on, we had professional photographers. And I went to see the lead photographer there. And I showed him this photo I just showed you. And I was so excited. I shot Paris by night. You got to check it out. And I remembered him looking at the photos. He was like, it was clear that he didn't like them. And I was like, yeah, come on, it's Paris by night. And he says, yeah, but all your skies are black. And he starts showing me photos that he took in Morocco with amazing blue hour, golden hour sunset. And he says, then I said, yeah, but if I had to take a photo like this, I could, that good light was only like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And I could have not taken like 80 photos like I just did. And I remember he looked at me straight in the eyes and he said, welcome to the world of photography. And it hit me, says, okay, so I gotta get good moment of light. So that's my first sunset. I'm sorry. That's my first sunset in Paris. It's awful. I mean, the sunset is kind of okay, but look at the, high frequency texture. Like, it's very noisy. I shot this by hand. So I said, okay, I'm not good at sunset. I'm going to try the golden hour. That's my first golden hour. I mean, you can't even really tell it's a golden hour. It's just like, and I couldn't handle like all the yellow on the walls. And then, that's my, I said, okay, well, if I'm not good with, the sunset or golden hour, I'll take, nice clouds. And that's one of my first clouds. Basically, I almost gave up. At this time I was like, okay, I'm not good at photography. I can't figure this thing out. All the photos I'm doing are not good. And I was going to give up. Then I realized that learning was the key. So honestly, a year into this passion of photography, I realized that I was going to go nowhere unless I was going to learn from professional. I didn't want to go back to school at the age of 36. So what I started a routine where from 9 to 6, I was setting websites, but from 6 to 8. Michael, can you hear me? No? Okay. Anyway, so from 9 to 6, I was, I was basically setting website. And from 6 to 8, I was on my scooter. I had at the time the Canon T2i with a small Manfrotto tripod in my little scooter. And I would drive around Paris and take photos, But then I would put the kids to bed, have dinner with family, spend some time with the kids, put them to bed. And instead of watching TV, I started, learning 10 minutes per day. So now this is a trick I'm going to give you. A lot of people that I know says, yeah, but there's so much to learn, on whatever passion you have. And, I don't have the time to learn. I think that the biggest mistake people do when they want to learn a new subject or even, playing guitar or piano is that they think, they need like a slot of 3 hours or this weekend I'm going to spend time on my hobby. The thing is, you need to do it regularly. And so you at least can put in 10 minutes a day. And that's what I was doing. I actually went a little more than 10 minutes, but if you don't have time, just give it at least 10 minutes a day. Learn 10 minutes per day and you will get better. Every day goes by that I do tutorials every day, although, I'm doing pretty well. I'm still like right now I'm learning a lot of fashion photography because I'm not really good in fashion, so I keep on learning all the time. Anyways, after 2 years of spinning my wheels, I discovered that there's only a few basic words and concepts that you need to understand to use your camera well, because you remember, I couldn't get this sunset to work. Yes, I was shooting at sunset, but they didn't look good, So there is a specific settings you need to have on your camera to really get them well. I understood that light is the most important element of photography, and there are simple methods to get great composition, and there are simple strategies for getting noticed on social media. Now, today I'm going to give you 3 secrets that will give you an unfair competitive advantage. But first, let's talk about a myth. Myth number 1, if you don't have a unique environment, like you're not in Paris or, in Tuscany, you cannot take beautiful photograph. That is wrong. Shooting at the right time of the day and knowing the exact camera settings is far more important than traveling to a beautiful location. I mean, look at the word photography. The word itself comes from the Greek phos and graphe, which means drawing with, representation by means of lines. So the word itself means drawing with light. Nicer is your light, nicer is going to be your photo. This is a great example of this, because although you can think the photo is great, this was taken in the most ugly countryside of all times in France. It was why it's ugly, because it was the winter, there was no leaf on the tree, there was mud everywhere, and it was flat, completely flat. But I saw some horses far away, and I was with my son Anthony. We ran to see the horses, and the sun came under the clouds, and this is what I call the golden hour of golden hour. And that is basically when you have a lot of clouds above you, and in front of you, you don't have much clouds. And so when the sun comes under, it lights from under and everything becomes red. I made a magazine cover with this photo. This photo got me started. This is the one photo that got my whole life started. That one photo, because I made a cover with it. Like a week later, I sent it to a magazine. They took it and they put it, not as big, but a good size cover. And then it gave me so much confidence that I said, okay, I'm going to do photography for real, guys. So anyways, this is another example. This is a lavender field in the Provence, taken at the wrong time of the year. I got a lot of traction from that photo just because it was a sunset. It's well composed. This is even a more crazy story. A couple of months ago, Timmy Shield, who is one of my students from my academy, sent me a text saying, we're visiting the national parks, and I'm basically going to go, we're going to pass through LA, and I wanted to shoot the Hollywood sign from behind. And I said, let's do it. I've been there many times, but I stopped going there because they closed a road to go up there. Now it's really hard. You have to literally go, in people's backyard to get up there. Anyway, he had it all mapped out. So we went up there. This is how it looked when we arrived. We stayed till the end. And we sort of figured out a way to get the right shot. And this is the shot that I got at the end. Now, I added a bit of clouds, but the night was nice. 2 days after I took this photo, Darius, who is the director of my latest movie, I'll talk more about that, called me and says, I just got an email from the state of California. They are looking for a new photo to represent Hollywood around the world. You should send this photo of Hollywood. I sent it, and I won first place. The California Film Commission is pleased to award first place in the category of Best Iconic Landmark to Sir Germany in the 2008 Film in California Photo Contest for the photo Hollywood sign from behind. So, and that's a big honor. It's a big deal because that means that the state of California is awfully going to represent Hollywood as my photo, which is crazy. I'm just an immigrant who just arrived here, And if I would have sent this photo, I would have never won, but I sent this photo. So again, same idea. I have a friend who has a brand he's making buses without drivers, and he wanted to take a photo. I said, okay, I'll take a photo, but I need a sunset. So we spent so much time, we're in Florida, finding a road that really was towards the sun. So heading west, and then, because we had to put this on the truck, anyway, we took the shot and he's been using it. It's been very successful for him. So I want to talk to you about my academy. I have a photographer named Rick Walter. He's from Chicago, and he did my academy, and he came to one of my seminar in France. And after the seminar, he says, I want to do a book on my city, Chicago, but I'm going to do it in black and white, but only moments of great light. So he started doing that. So basically, he took a lot of sunset and turned it into black and white, and he made an awesome book. This is one of the photos we got together when we were in the south of France. So light, light, light is everything. I cannot tell you, and you will see that in a few minutes. I cannot tell you how many people send me raw files that are taken in the middle of the afternoon. It's not a sunrise. It's not a sunset. Scott Kelby told me something one day, and it really hit me. Because no matter where you are on this planet, no matter what you look on this planet, what you're seeing 99% of the time will look better at sunset or at sunrise. And after doing photography for 14 years, I can tell you that no matter where you go, there is only very rare occasion where the sunset is really bad and the afternoon clouds are amazing. 99% of the time, it will look better at sunset or at sunrise. or at golden hour or at night, but not during broad daylight. So that's secret number one. It's simple. You might think it's simple, but when you're going to see the raw files that I just got, you'll understand why people are not doing it. And it's like, I see so many people posting photos of amazing places taken in the middle of the afternoon. And I'm like, why? Why? If you are a photographer, you got to get that shot. And I understand your wife doesn't want you to stay there. You have dinner with family, you need to go. But if you want to get into photography, you got to come back at the right time and get the shot. So that's number one. Number two is, and this one I think is really bad because that's the one I had about acting, and I mean, yes, some people, are born, Mozart was playing opera at 4 years old or 5 years old, something like this. I get that, there are some very talented people out there, Michael Jackson and all this, but even these people work a lot. Will Smith used to say that that he doesn't believe in talent, he believes in hard work. And I believe that a lot, so there is a myth out there that you must be born with a great eye and spend years practicing in order to create beautiful composition. As far as photography comes, it's not true. There's only 5 basic principles to know about composition that will make your photo look completely professional. The best and most important rule of all is the definition of composition itself, which I kind of invented, which is the arrangement of the elements of your photography to convey a message. You got to tell a simple story. That is the number one rule. The hardest thing we have with photography is that there's too much going on. There's too much elements. Yes, there is other rules like rule of third, framing the frame, rule of third and framing the frame, leading lines, rule of thirds, framing the frame, foreground, middle ground, background. In fact, in my academy, I really give you lots of examples of good and bad composition. For example, this is an okay photo, sunrise in Gordes. Gordes is an amazing medieval village in the south of France. And this is the version with like foreground, middle ground, background. I got a lot more attraction from that photo than from this photo. And it's just all I did is move 6 feet back, A lot of people ask me, what is your favorite photo of all time? Well, this is it. This is my favorite photography. If I had to pick just one photo of all I've done in 16 years, that's the one. For me, it represents Paris, how I see Paris. It's romantic, it's beautiful light. And there is 7 different composition secrets in this photo, which I go very deeply into my academy. I want to give you another example of a photographer who did my training. His name is Swapan Jha. He's from Boston. And he started sending me these photos. He also came on a workshop with me and he went to the Taj Mahal. And I love how he did, how he's just telling a story in his photos, frame in the frame. It's just pure and elegant photos. He also said, after finishing the academy, actually he was halfway through. He says, you know what? I want to make a book about Boston. And so he made a black and white book about Boston. And he doesn't do just great black and white. He also does great color. Look at these leading lines. And I mean, it's so great. The other day, I got this email from Tim Shield. That's the guy I went with, one of my students from the academy who went to do the Hollywood sign. He says, I cannot even begin to tell you how much the online training from Serge Remedy has helped me with my entire photography process, from composition and camera settings to post-processing and printing. If you want to move forward in your photography and go from good to great, then you need to take the training from Serge. He is the real deal. Well, thank you so much, Tim. You are amazing. I mean, Tim, you should check him out. He's not teaching on internet, an amazing photographer. Look at this composition. Look at this work there. He even went to Paris. They got this shot of the Eiffel Tower. I've been there like 5 times and I never got that composition. Look at this photo of Death Valley or this photo that he shot in Dubai. 5 basic rules of composition, guys. But you have to see lots of examples, and I'll go that into more details on the academy. So myth number 3, using post-processing and preset is cheating. I'll tell you something. Using the right Lightroom preset will do 80% of your retouching for you if you know how to use them. I made the mistake of not using presets for years. And I've used preset for my black and white books, but what it really hit me is when I did my Venice book. Because this is what happened. I was in Florida on vacation with my family, but I knew I had to work for the book. I thought I had 3 months to get all the photos ready, but my publisher called me and says, no, I need them in 10 days. And so, but the problem is that, when you're retouching raw files, you know how it goes, like you're opening your shadows, bringing down the highlights, you're doing your right exposure, and then you're finding the right white balance, with temperature, white balance, hue, saturation, luminance, getting the right colors. And then I'm looking at the photo because it's so dull without some retouching. I'm looking at the photo. I'm like, this is not a good photo. It's not going to end up in the book. And then I take the next photo and I restart doing all these sliders. And I realized, and then, I keep forgetting to do the sharpening right and all that stuff. And I realized I'm doing the same things over and over and over and over again. So I started creating what I call my signature preset. It's my best selling item of all time. It's unbelievable the success I've had with the signature preset. Basically what that is 40 presets. So you got 5 presets for golden hour, 5 presets for sunset, 5 presets for daylight, for blue hour, for snow, for lone exposure. And I did the entire book with that. I mean, if you feel bad about post-processing, let me introduce to you one of the greatest photographers of all time, Ansel Adams. He's very known for his work on National Geographic's parks. This is one of his very famous photo called the Moon over Hernandez, New Mexico. It was a big hit when it came out. And on the left side, you have the unretouched version. And on the right side, you have the retouched version. Now, how did he do that? Well, in case you're not familiar with film photography, I've done about a 1-year training on it. So I kind of know. He used to shoot with 8x10 or 4x5, big films that back in the day, what you used to do is project that film through like a light through the negative, which is inverse, onto a positive paper. And the longer you would project the light, the more you would burn the paper with the light and get more dark and a contrasty photo. But if you wanted to make some parts brighter and darker, which we call dodge and burn, you need a special machine, which Ansel, of course, had. And that machine you see here, it's got like 50 light bulbs. So let's say he wanted, like on this photo, he wanted the sky to be dark, okay? So what he did is that he turned on all the top lights, so he would burn the sky. But then he wanted the clouds to be a little brighter. So what he did is that he used, and you see here is Ansel Adams' son, a dodge tool. A dodge tool is like a little spoon that he would shake around the moon, shake around the clouds to dodge light, to prevent the light from touching the paper. And so there was less light, and so it was brighter in these parts. Anyway, so this process became known as dodge and burn, which means, you either expose the paper or you dodge the light and you don't, okay? Well, using the right lighting preset will do 80% of retouching for you. A lot of people tell me, yeah, but if I use a preset, I'll get your look. No, preset is a starting point. Then I always fine tune my look, but also preset will help you once you have found your look you can create your own preset and, do your own style. That's my style, but you can do your own style. Now, give you a good example. Let me introduce to you an amazing man by the name of Hannes Koning. He's from Vienna, and he's from Vienna, but lives in Strasbourg now. And he took my preset and made it his own. Like he changed them. This is some of the result that he got out of his preset. Every artist has his own way of expression. Like this is a photo we shot together. I just love what he did. Mine is much smaller. It's not as contrasty. He changed the sky. Sometimes he goes very natural. Sometimes he goes very saturated. Sometimes he boosts the details. Sometimes he takes the details out. In any case, he just plays around. He has a complete different style of mine, but I love his style, So let me give you a couple of case study here. Justin sent me this amazing email. He says, just wanted to thank you once more for helping me with the interview. I also wanted to let you know that I just got hired for photography real estate properties. Thank you so much for your help and inspiration. I've learned so much from your tutorials, and I wouldn't be where I am today without your courses. Just letting you know that you changed someone's life in a good way. Thank you, Justin. I got so many emails of people who started business, who are now making good money, even including in fine art, and I know how much happiness being able to make money with photography brought me. So when somebody tells me it helped him, it blows me away. I believe there's bread for everyone. I believe that no secret is, we are here to share and help each other as artists. Sahid Naikov wrote me, says, I'm writing to you. I bought one of your preset bundles yesterday, despite me being skeptical when it comes to preset and want to learn on my own. But the result I achieved in one of my recent sunset pictures where I was standing using a preset. Guys, I have an amazing deal for you. Amazing deal. You heard me talking about my academy. Well, let me explain something. I have something that's even bigger than my academy that I'm going to propose to you right now. It's called the PhotoSurge Expert Photography Bundle. And what it is first some training, like my Adobe Lightroom Masterclass, which is like all my course on Lightroom CC and Lightroom Classic. I mean, Lightroom is my secret weapon. It's 4 to 10x my workflow. Then I'm going to give you all my presets. The natural everyday is the one I talked about, But then I've got the special effect presets. These ones are like black and white. You'll see me using them in a minute on some of the raw files. HDR, Hollywood look, famous Instagrammer. Then we have the portrait essential, which is more for portrait shooting, lighter preset, because you can't go out hard on portrait because of skin texture. Then you got the wedding preset, something lighter, but they have got more lights effects. And then you got the film looks. Now, film looks, this is probably the pack we spend the most time on. Me and another photographer studied like a whole bunch of old Kodak, Velvia 50, Velvia 100, so many films, and tried to emulate it with Lightroom. I got this email the other day from Norway. He says, "Hello, sir. Thank you very much for the discount on your preset for Lightroom." You're welcome. I've enclosed just an example of how I made my photo live again. This photo I told you written off. After running a preset, it became one of my most liked photo on Instagram within hours. And I just made to try out your preset. I am very pleased with your work and that you're willing to share with the community. Have a nice day. When I get something like this, I'm like, oh, wait, my preset also works on other people's photo. In fact, I'll be using my preset on your photo in just a minute. So using preset is a big deal. Also, Adobe just came out with profiles. Profiles are amazing. I'm going to give you my 82 profile collection, the landscape, the portrait, the urban, and the lights. Profile actually alter the color of your photo completely. It comes from a technology used by video, and I'm going to do a demonstration in just a few minutes. Stick around. Photography workflow. Now, this course there's so many, if you're a Critic Cloud member, there's so many updates in Lightroom and Photoshop that I just did a 2018 version where I'll show you all the different updates and how they apply to your photos. I'll show you this photo. And by the way, I was so surprised, but yesterday I found out this photo, do you see the before and after, is my most liked photos on Instagram for all time, 5,000 likes. I would have never guessed. I was looking at statistics yesterday. Anyways, before and after, and it came from that workflow course. This is another before and after, another before after, so many there. Then I'm gonna give you my Photoshop for Photographer 2017. Now this course is my biggest course ever. It's 8 hours, 66 videos, but 21 different projects. It takes into consideration you've never opened up Photoshop in your life. And by the end, you will be doing professional skin retouching. You erase anything out of a photo. It's the course I'm the most proud of. Then we get into the real meat, guys. We get into composition, Cityscape Masterclass. This is so cool. Cityscape Landscape Masterclass. Really, that's the rules I was talking about. I'm going to give you lots of examples through my lens so you can really understand how this works. Sky replacement. Sometimes, like me, you walk up 400 stairs to go to the top of Notre Dame. You've got the most boring light ever. I changed the sky in this photo. And guys, I'm proud to announce that this photo is my second best-selling photo of all time in galleries. And I did change the sky on it. I hate to do it, I'll be honest. I try to do anything that I can to avoid sky replacement. But sometimes you do it, and sometimes you nail it. And I did. Then I'm going to give you the art of black and white package. I've done lots of art, black and white, studied a lot. I'll show you how to do black and white with portrait, with landscape, with cityscape. Then comes my portrait compositing workflow. This is awesome. This is the type of photography I love to do today, which is like, a mixture between a portrait and a landscape. It's somebody into an environment. And I found a way of doing it with less than $200 of flash. And I'm going to show you, and you get that kind of photography. I really love it. Now, when I started into photography, I started making money with interior design photography. And I believe that and wedding is the fastest way if you want to start making money with photography. And so this course I'm going to give you will show you how, you get the real estate. This is like houses, hotels, etc. Then we come to the time-lapse masterclass. Now, time-lapse masterclass is an amazing course I did with Emeric Lebar, who is an amazing time-lapser from LA. He's a French guy, but he's a world-renowned time-lapser. He's worked for Google, Yelp, American Express. He's time-lapser in movies, on I think 3 or 4 shows right now on Netflix. And I'm not kidding. If you're a wedding photographer, if you are an interior design photographer, if you're a fine art photographer, you need to master time-lapse, especially Holy Grail time-lapse, where you start during the afternoon, you go all through the night. So this course will teach you all that. Then we come to a course by my own Photoshop guru, Kelvin Pimon. He is an expert. He's had an agency for 20 years. And one of the things he was doing the most in the agency was extracting things, models, put them on catalogs, and things. So he's become a master. He knows extracting techniques that I've never heard about, and he's going to show you like 5 or 10 different techniques to extract anybody on anything. I mean, by the end of this course, you can extract anything. Then we come to the last course, which we did together, the Photoshop workflow course. I shot this photo of the Eiffel Tower at 4 o'clock in the night, and he added the tiger, the snow, the shadows, the footprint, everything. By the end of this course, between Photoshop for Photographer, extraction, and this one, in 3 courses, you can become a graphic designer if you wanted to. So much you'd be good at Photoshop. The last course, but you can do it at first, is my Photography Business Masterclass. Now, this course is very extensive. It's really hard to make money with photography. First of all, I'm going to tell you how much you should charge for your photography. And I made out 3 price lists. The one if you're just beginning, which is beginner. Then as you get more experience, and when you are pro. Okay, and I spent months researching all the price. I mean, you've got weddings, you got senior portraits, you got real estate, you got selling to a small website to a big website. A lot of it is in there. And we made it in a way so that it's PSD file. You can just change your logo. And then basically next time somebody asks you for the price, you can just send that PDF. That alone will increase your income as a photographer. How to get your first customer. I'm actually going to show you how I make cold calls to get your first clients. What is the best way to deliver your photo to your customer? The right way to use social media. How did I do to go to 520,000 subscribers on YouTube? How come I've got now 63,000 on Instagram, 140,000 on Facebook? How to work with the social media. What about Google Plus and Flickr? How to make a living as a photographer. Okay? So anyways, guys, I'm about to retouch your raw file, but first I got to give you a present. Michael?
Fantastic. Yeah. So for those of you who would like to get the bonus photography toolbox from Serge, which you've got your presets, we've got skies, we've got brushes for you. All you have to do is click on one of the 2 links that I put in the chat window. Again, so if you are a Facebook user, I've got a Facebook link called Facebook Free Gift Box. And what that'll allow you to do is not only grab all of the amazing items in the toolbox, but it'll also give you the ability to be connected with Serge on Messenger, because every single week, Serge does a new video for you. So we're going to be sending that out to you on Messenger every single week, in addition to the toolbox. If you're somebody who just wants to get the toolbox emailed to you, all you have to do is click the second link. It's called Free Gift Sign Up. And I'm going to make sure that it's over here on YouTube as well. You may have to refresh if you're watching on YouTube. But for those of you in Zoom, all you got to do is click one of 2 of these links.
Okay, cool. So this is the toolkit, and you're going to get some of my skies, texture, preset, and profile. So you're going to get all my courses. It's a $1,979 value. All my preset, which is $425. The 1-year membership to my private Facebook group, which is $3,600 value. Now, what is the 1-year membership to my private Facebook group, you may ask? Well, let me answer. Now, this is something we've been refining, me and Michael, for over a year. And it's a private group called the Photo Search Academy, okay? And basically, people post photo, and every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, I retouch your photos. And I usually retouch them all. You will see today, I might only retouch 2 or 3, and I might miss your photo. But if you're part of the Academy, I will retouch your photo every Wednesday at 11 a.m. If I can't get to it, I'll do it the next week. And the video is there. It's only for members only. People also ask questions like, what can I improve here? I give a whole bunch of answers. I also do contests on the Facebook Academy. Like this was a contest about sunset. Randall Wade won. Everybody who wins gets one of my books. The average number of people, that comments is like 10 comments per photos. Because anyways, and that's an example of like
that's the original
an extract from the show I'm doing every morning.
And that's one with the scary placement.
It's a little bit hard to hear, Serge.
Yeah, it's hard to hear. Sorry. Anyway, I was just showing that basically, I retouched this with Lightroom. It's not mine of my photos, one of your photo. Lightroom with profile, and then I went into sky replacement. Anyway, so that's some of the winners of some of the challengers. You wanted to say something on this, Michael?
I did. First of all, for those of you on YouTube, if you have not seen the link for the free offer, make sure that you refresh your screen. I just added them in the description window on YouTube. So just make sure you grab your toolkit. And so, yes, thank you, Serge. So one of the things that Serge and I, the reason that we've been refining this and improving this academy over time and building it to where it's at today is because we wanted to serve people at the highest level possible. When Serge and I first started working together almost a year ago now, Serge, one of the things that Serge mentioned to me was he has all these people, all of these subscribers coming to him consistently asking to retouch photos, to give feedback, to mentor. And there was just no way he was able to get to everybody. There's no physical way that he was going to use 24 hours a day to get back to everybody and to support everybody in their photography. So we started brainstorming, how can we help people at a higher level? How can we move people from amateur photographer to mastery in the shortest amount of time possible? And so what we did was we came up with the Photo Serge Academy. And let me break this down for you very simply. The Academy is going to give you direct access to Serge as a mentor. He is literally in this group, working with members of this group and helping them improve their photography as they're moving through the entire training courses. All of the courses Serge talked to you just a few moments ago, everybody in this group is moving through those courses. And every single Wednesday, Serge retouches your photos, gives you critiques on what you could have done better, and you can do before and afters with Serge directly. And you get access to a group of passionate photographers who are incredibly focused on either A, their hobby of photography, or B, their business. And so if you're looking to move from amateur to professional photographer, or just looking to improve your photography and impress your friends and family on social media, or if you're looking to start a photography business and improve that business, this academy gives you everything you need to sharpen that saw. Between all of the products Serge just mentioned, this academy, the direct mentorship, and the support from the team, you're going to be blown away. We're seeing massive success stories every day. We've got somebody on this call actually right now, Charlie Simon, who is an amazing photographer, went from watching Serge's tutorials to owning his own photography business with a team of 8 now. I mean, it's just extraordinary what you can do with these tools and with this academy.
Yeah, and also there's something else is that I get a lot of inquiry from brands sometimes that I cannot fulfill. It happened to me last 2 weeks ago where a brand needed a photographer in Times Square for a very delicate shoot. And so I reached out to the academy. The first people I'm going to recruit from is from my students. Also, Yellow Corner, the gallery I work with, needed some fresh photos. And I've submitted over 20 photographers, and they were all from the academy. So basically, you can also get jobs from being part of this private academy. Anyway, so you're going to get all my training, all my preset, and the academy, okay? So you're going to get the value of the courses it took me 7 years to make, $1,979. All the preset profiles and brushes, $425. Then the one-year membership to my private Facebook group, which is $3,600 value. The total value is $6,004. Now, this is perfect for like if you're just beginning with photography. You've never touched a camera in your life. This academy is perfect for you. Or you're an amateur, but you want to get professional quality art. This is perfect for you. Or you just want to start making money with photography. This is perfect for you. Let me share you a couple of success stories. CA just wrote, says, I wanted to give you some feedback on your landscape masterclass that I just finished. I decided to reprocess some of my old photos using your workflow from the class. And not only am I more happy with the result that as I envisioned it, but the reprocessed photo went into popular status within 9 to 30 minutes on 500px with a rating of mid to high 80s, something I only achieved in 2 photos previously. Tom says, I followed tutorials because I've learned more photography techniques and skills from you in the past 6 months than in my previous 50 years as an amateur. Well, thank you, Tom. So is this training worth for you? Freddie says, I've just purchased your complete tutorial this week and I've just gone through some of it. I just want to say how happy I am with your tutorials. I still believe you have provided the best photography tutorials money can buy. Cheers. So you're going to get all my training, all my presets, and the access to the private membership group, $3,600 values. So the total value you're going to get is $6,400. Now, The first 25 people who's going to go and take this offer, because this is going to go on for 30 minutes only. We only going to open the store for 30 minutes. You're going to get the brand new photographer logo course and template. Now, what that is crazy. This is 6 months of work that I did with Kelvin, where we created 150 different logos for photographers. And by the way, Patrick, if you're watching this, we should put more examples there of logos, because this is an amazing product. I used to hate to, just a little story about this. I used to hate to put, watermarks on my photo until I made a deal with Samsung when they wanted my photos to be on their TV. And I was like, I got to have a watermark there so that my name is on their TV. And I did. And that's how we created the logo course. So that's a $97 value. We'll give it to you for the first 25 people who's going to take this offer while we open this card for 30 minutes. Now, bonus number 2 is $27 is my Creative Composite Superhero Workflow. That is such a fun way to get to learn Photoshop. So you're going to get all my courses, all my presets, my 1-year membership, plus the 2 bonus. So the total value is $6,131. Now, if all this did was to give you all that was needed to be a successful photographer, would it be worth it? I mean, if you did this training and now you were successfully making money as a photographer, would $6,000 be a good investment? Some school costs $20,000 a year for a photographer. And honestly, after all the emails I got, I am comparing it to a 1 year of college, because I've had so many people writing me that went to college, spent all this money, and learned more with my training than they did in college. I got to be honest with this. Okay, help you have more fun and stop trying to chase down your questions all over the internet. Would it be worth it? No. Allow you to get noticed for your art by friends and family. Would it be worth it? What is mastery worth to you? Is it worth $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $25,000? Some people pay $25,000 a year to get into photography. How much would you pay to get a complete toolkit produced in a simple language that can give you an edge in your art or business? You can see why others are paying me $6,500 for my training and membership tools. You can see why it's a good deal at $6,131. But the offer we're going to give you now, and this is only on this webinar, is you're going to get everything with a one-time payment of $299. Now, this is a link. Now, where can they get the link, Michael?
Yep. Give me 1 second. For those of you who are in Zoom right now, I'm putting the link in the chat window. And again, guys, this is going to go quickly. So we're only going to keep this offer open for 30 minutes. It's not an offer you can get on the website. It's not an offer you can get anywhere else. The value here is we really wanted to stack the value for you, and we did. Again, for this $299 today, you get the entire Facebook Academy. You are in. You get every single one of the bundles that Serge walked you through. You get the Lightroom courses. You get the presets. You get everything that Serge has laid out here for you today for $299. All you have to do is click the link. It says special $299. And it'll take you directly to the website. And Serge is going to walk you through. If you have purchased products from Serge in the past, we're going to give you an additional discount on top of the $299. So Serge is going to walk you through that.
Yeah, so the link that Michael just gave you, if you click on it, you will see you have the option to log in. You can see here up right, you've got the login option if you're not already logged in. Log in, and if you bought courses from me in the past, you can go as low. Let's say you bought the complete pack, which is like all my courses. You can go as low as $239, but you get access to the Academy. You get access to all these updated course, and I can't wait to see your photos. Guys, we are going to stop this in exactly 28 minutes. We're only taking 25 people. So, grab it while you can.
Yeah, and we got to, again, guys, this is going to go fast, but I just want to let folks on YouTube know that the link is in the description. If you do not see the link in the description, make sure you refresh your screen because you'll want to move quickly on this.
Yeah, I mean, guys, you got 2 options here. First option, do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. Or you can make this small investment because $299 is not about the price of a crappy lens. And compared to all the value you'll get in return, and just give it a shot. I've had people who bought it, and in like 2 days, they got it back through a deal that it made on photography. If it works, great. If not, just ask for your money back and you will get it. This is a fully 30-day guarantee. Sign up today. If you don't like it for any reason, I don't care if it's in 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from now, no question asked. I will just give you your entire money back. This is how much I'm so sure about it.
Yeah, and I just want to say something on this as well. And I think this is really important because the course and the academy is a living, breathing thing. So you're going to be coming in, you're going to be learning as you go and working with people inside the academy. We're going to get you up and running very, very quickly. And for those of you who are, nervous about taking this leap of faith, again, 30-day money back guarantee. You do not have to worry about this not being top quality value. We know it is, and that's why we're doing this. That's why we're A, giving it to you at such a great price today, and B, giving you that 30-day guarantee because we believe in this product so much.
Yeah, and the thing is, the only people I've refunded were people who did not open it. They bought it and they never looked at it and they never did anything about it. And they were like, oh, just give me the money back. I don't do it. Give it at least 10 minutes per day. I wish I had this offer when I started. I really wish I did because I did not. And it took me so much time. I wasted about 2 years and at least $10,000 on the wrong training, on the wrong books, on the wrong gear because I did not have this training. I wish I had that. If you can make it, if you can afford, if you can find $299 and you're really passionate about photography, come and join me and I will do my best to help you become the best photographer. It's going to be work. It's not just you buy $299 and now you're a professional photographer. You're going to have to study. You're going to have to take photos, take photos. But this is so much fun, and you'll be part of my academy. And I want to see you work. We're only taking 25 people this morning. If you can afford this, come and join me because you will not regret this.
Yeah. And remember, guys, Serge has been doing this for a very long time, almost, I think we're up to 520,000 subscribers on YouTube now. And Serge has been creating this type of content for so long that he knows how to help you get where you want to go in simple language. I think that's one of the things that is so challenging for photographers. You pick up books and, you can get very confused and you see all the sliders in Photoshop and Lightroom, and it just can be overwhelming. And so the way this product is built, the way this training is built is to take you step by step in simple language that you're going to get the raw files Serge is using. It's going to be very specific to that project. You're going to walk through the exact project, the way Serge is doing it, and you're going to master these tools. You're going to be beginning to master photography in as few as 10 minutes a day. And I think if you break down the $299 for a year, it's only 81 cents a day to get started right now. And for those of you who don't have $299 cash, we also have partnered with PayPal. And you can actually, if you're in the US, I just put the link in both the description in YouTube and right here in Zoom. You can literally click this link and it's going to take you to PayPal, and you can be up and running with interest-free financing for the next 6 months with PayPal. So you can pay $299, or PayPal, same as cash. PayPal pays $299 today. You pay PayPal back 0 interest for 6 months over the next 6 months. So it's an amazing offer and a great way to get started right now.
Yeah, and is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Even if it does half of what I've claimed today on this webinar, you pay $299. It will pay for itself in either money earned or in being more happy in creating the photos you want to create. Other opportunities can cost you more just in time wasted. With this, you get my complete training lineup. So whether you're in doubt whether to get it, let me show you what to do next. Click on the link, take it, follow me, and it will make a difference in your life. So you can get all my courses, all my preset, and the access to the private group plus the 2 bonus which is worth $6,139, for $299. If you didn't sign up immediately, you're not sure, I get it, or you don't want to take a risk, or you don't have enough time. I am nothing special. I got started with photography on a whim. I wanted to create art, and I was a struggling actor. But by using the techniques that I will teach you in this training and private group, I have created a massive social following and a thriving business. So get the bundle now for $299, and you will get invitation of the academy tomorrow by my daughter Marine. She runs the academy, and I can't wait to see your photos and you being part of this group. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, if you have any questions about the package, you can ask in the chat. Michael will answer you. I want to tell you one more story. I think he's even here today. This is Charlie Simon. Charlie is one of my early students. He bought the Complete Pack years ago, and today, look at this. He's got a staff of like 7 or 8 people working for him. He works in Marbella, Spain. He does like $50 million houses. He's even been to Saudi Arabia. I mean, he's one of my most successful success story of all times.
Hello.
And
There he is.
there.
My mic is, my camera is not on. Sorry. I don't know why.
Oh, bonjour, Charlie. You're here. Wow, it's been a while. I've been talking to you.
All good?
Thank you for joining on this webinar.
Of course, it's my pleasure. You know that.
How are you doing?
Good, pretty good. Just came back from shooting a really, really, really cool house today. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's funny. How do you get these deals, man? How do you? Is there a lot of $50 million houses in Marbella, Spain? I mean,
I'll tell you this much. Just a little quick stats. You know how many houses are in Marbella? We're talking about a 50 or 60 square mile radius, right?
Yeah, it's very small, right?
We have 10,000 homes for sale in Marbella right now.
No way.
350 of those are over 3 million euros. So yeah.
And you still, I mean, you must be the lead photographer there because.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're really lucky to be number one by far here because, I mean, that's all we do. We do high-end villas over 2, 3, 4, 5, 60, 50, 70 million euros. So yeah, we're really, really happy.
So Charlie, how did you find, and guys, we're going to respect your time. We're going to be retouching your photos here in just a second, but real quick. So Charlie, when you first got into, because you're a professional golfer and then you got into photography, how did you make that transition?
Oh, I sent a raw file for you guys to retouch it, by the way. So
you did? Excited. Excellent.
I did, yeah. And it's funny because it's my main signature photo in my thank you card, which I'll show you after you retouch it. So yeah, I was a golf player before. I was a professional golf player, and I used to travel the world playing golf and staying alone in hotels and stuff like that. And I thought that wasn't for me. So one of these days I started learning some photos, and I came across a YouTube tutorial from Serge, which are all free, by the way. And he changed my life. I went ahead and bought the super complete pack back in the day. It was like 4 years ago. Or 5 years ago, I don't remember. It was like 20% of the courses that he's got now. And I mean, changed my life, changed my way of seeing things. I do something I love every day, and we're really lucky to make a lot of money with it. So yeah, very happy.
Wow. Well, thank you, Charlie. Thank you. And it's funny because you were writing me since years, like you wanted to meet me. And then finally you came to LA. We had a nice dinner in Pasadena. And I mean, your story is one of the most impressive. I have another guy who also has 17 photographers in Paris. Nice. that I personally trained, David Emmanuel Cohen, but he does very small apartments and he doesn't do high end stuff like you do.
Right. You gotta think about it. I mean, we're really lucky to live where we live. I mean, we work internationally as well, but here in Marbella, we have the best houses per square mile in the world. So I think
I would have never guessed. Yeah. All right, so I got to retouch people's. Let me just recap the offers. So you're gonna get all my courses, all my presets, which is not what Charlie got back in the day, and the private Facebook group, which is all value of $6,131. You're going to get all the profile and presets for $299, guys. Only 25 people this morning. Make sure that they have the link. You're going to get all the above. And now I'm going to be starting to retouch some of your photos. So let me get my Lightroom up and running.
Can't wait to see it.
Well, I hope, I do a very rough retouching because I know. Did you put your name on it, Charlie, on the photo?
I did put my name on it, but I uploaded it like half an hour ago. So you didn't.
Okay, so let me just then I'm going to resynchronize.
Yeah, and as Serge is syncing this, just so you folks know here in Zoom, I put the link in again. It's called Special $299. Simply click that link, log in, and get yours today. We're going to be inviting you into the Photo Serge Academy. You'll get within 24 hours, you're going to get that invite. But I highly encourage for those of you who are ready to take that next step, who are serious about your passion or your business, to take the leap of faith. Again, 30-day money-back guarantee. You have absolutely nothing to lose.
Yeah, and did you mention the whole deal we have with PayPal where they can just pay $50 times 6 and that's it?
Yep.
Cool.
So I got the link in there as well for PayPal. For those of you in the US who want to go through PayPal, you can actually get credit for this today. 0% interest, no interest over the next 6 months.
Charlie Simon. So that's your photo, Charlie, right?
It's a pity. Yeah, that's the photo. It's a pity that my camera is not working, so I would show it to you, but I don't know why my camera is not. Probably you can activate it in mic or something, or.
Let's see. You should be able to click the video.
Do you see my Lightroom in your photo?
Yes, I see everything. You guys cannot see me. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Anyways, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm so excited.
Well, I'm going to start. So this is like a sunset photo, sort of blue hour. So on this one is very dark. I mean, you were at 1/250th of a second. Honestly, I would have probably been at 1/800, like a couple of f-stop more, because it's very underexposed. The problem is when you underexpose too much, sometimes you get a bit of unneeded noise in the shadows. But that's fine. We'll deal with that.
Oh, yes.
So on this one I want to try the golden hour look, golden hour circle light, just to see how it goes. Boom. Give it a second. It's going to refresh. And I kind of like that. So what I do is I'll do with the black point. I just make sure I got about 3% of black. I make sure that I've got, the white. And
honestly, if you had the camera on right now and I show you the picture, which is printed in my thank you cards, it's an exact same retouching. It's pretty amazing.
Well, that's cool.
So, you guys, I learned everything we searched. So, of course, it's going to be the same.
Yeah, just, I would do something like this. That's kind of the idea. I love the photo. It's great.
How mine looks. Search. I'm not kidding.
I'm sure. Sometime I would go even more crazy. I would use a sunset preset, but that would kind of be too much, because the sunset preset is good when there's a lot of orange in the photo, but you can fake it. The thing is, then it kind of looks fake because it's got so much colors that I prefer the golden hour look. This is a little too much. Anyways, before, after. All right, let's go into other people. Hey, but great composition. It's I love.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's the main corporate image that I use for my thank you card. So that goes away every time a week, like 100 times a week to every client. So everybody gets to see that photo.
Cool. All right. So now I just randomly picked this photo that Mustafa Hajawi just. I would love to go to Dubai and have this. Look at this. Have you been there, Charlie? Yeah,
actually, I've been shooting in Dubai. I shot the best hotel in the world, the Emirates Palace in Abu Dhabi, and you should go. You should really. Yeah, really go.
But did you ever get the? I don't know if it's cloud or sandstorm. It's just crazy. Look at that. So that's definitely. You see the sun. The sun is a bit high still, so for me that's kind of a golden hour. So I'm going to jump right away to golden hour preset, and probably light preset. Now, I don't like when the sun is like this, when you can see all the details in the sun. So usually I back down the highlights. I rather have like a glow than to see all the details there. Of course, you have to make sure that where the sun is, this is where the sun is, the circle. You can make it bigger, but you see now it's lighting too much the building. If I do before without the circle and after the circle, so you can use this new option in range mask of luminance. And basically, it's going to create a mask. If I hold on the option key, you can see what I'm doing. Any mask in Photoshop or Lightroom is white reveals, black conceals. The idea is I want the sky to be white and the buildings to be black so that my sun effect goes behind the building. So now, check it out. Before, after, it's a lot more subtle, but now it does not affect the buildings. Okay? Now, the whole photo is a little crooked. So I'm going to go and use the auto upright and pray that it's going to work. It's not so bad. Now this one, I think would work better. Let me see here. Maybe if I add a little tiny more blue and a little more magenta. I like to really fine tune my colors, but look at this photo. I wish I took this photo before and after. It's pretty cool.
Wow, it's a really nice photo.
Maybe add a bit of more contrast. So Mustafa, very well done for that photo. I think I want to try to, it might not work. I'm in love because the gallery I used to work with used to tell me that I could give them any type of cropping, but now they want me to use a lot more than 16:9. And I think it works on this photo because it puts more attention on the city. So this is the before and this is the after. Mustafa, very well done.
Very nice.
And I didn't even need to use the overexposed photo to get that. I did that with just one raw file, So that's kind of cool. Let's see here. What else we got? That's just the latest that I just got. Just looking for something that sort of inspired me.
And then also, if you look at the chat window, there's a couple folks, Gary King and Anton.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to look at the chat. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Where did I see where's the chat? Let me go to the chat. Chat. Zoom window. Bring.
So after you guys see this, I mean, everybody watching, are you really not going to get the complete pack for, what is it, $299? I mean,
Yeah, $299. It's a heck of a deal.
I mean, I think it's insane. I mean, I should, report you to the police or something. It's just so cheap for everything you're offering.
Yes. Hold on. I need to open the chat here. Chat. Okay, cool. So I can see what people are saying. Okay. I feel like Donkey and Shrek. Pick me. Martin. That's so funny. Okay, cool. So Gary King. I've sent 5 exposures for AGR shot. I'd really love you to retouch this for me. Gary King. So let's see where Gary King is. I'm going to go to library and Gary King. No, file from. I'm going to go previously import. Let's see if you were in the last block. No, you were not. Okay, so I'm going to take all the photos, file from students, 1,700 files, so won't be able to retouch everything. Gary King, did you put your name on your photo, Gary King? Yeah, that's the one probably. Okay, Gary King. So it's a drone HDR. Oh my God, look at that. Wow. It's a drone HDR. Okay. You know what? Why don't we, I'm going to throw this into Aurora HDR and see how it does. Aurora source files. While it does this, I'm going to retouch this one from Gary Scotcher. Or let's see, who else? No, I'm going to prioritize the people in the chat here. So this launched Aurora HDR. I'm going to click on alignment and create HDR. Okay, I'll bring this back. And we have N. Steinmetz, Ponte Vecchio. So did you put your name, Mr. Steinmetz, on the photo? Because if you did not, then it's going to be hard for me to find it. I've got 1,685 raw files to go through. So let's see here. N. Steinmetz, Ponte Vecchio. Okay, so that's the Ponte Vecchio. I get it. Wow. So you send a retouch version, which is what you did here. JPEG, okay, and that's wow, you got a great sunset there. So I believe so. And wow, that's a strong sunset. So I'll tell you a trick, but first, let me finish this one on Aurora. What I do when I have bracketed shot is I do 2 versions. I do an Aurora version, and then I do a natural version. And sometimes Aurora wins, and sometimes Lightroom wins. That's how it goes. So boom, full screen. So I'm into Aurora HDR. And I'm going to take a Photo Search Basic as a preset. There's a whole bunch of preset there. Captain Chemo, Serge Ramelli, True Ratcliffe. I'm using Serge Ramelli. Just click here. And so let's see here. The thing with HDR, you see we get a lot of details in the sky, and I don't like that because I think it's unnatural to have so much detail in the sky. So what I usually do is I use an adjustment layer, and I use I've got a special cloud preset that's going to diffuse the sky a lot. Well, in this case, it makes the sky too bright. Okay, I'm not going to use that. This one doesn't work well on this photo. So I'm going to reset that. I want to diffuse the sky more. So I've got a layer, and I want to diffuse the sky. So I'm going to use probably Glow. Glow is going to diffuse the sky a little bit. But I only want to use it on the sky. And I also maybe want to make the sky a little darker. So right now I'm only looking at the sky because what I'm doing is only for the sky. So I'm going to take a brush. So I'm basically retouching like 5 HDR. I'm going to make the brush a little bigger. So that's the good thing with Aurora is you're retouching. I'm on Paint. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just bringing back a bit of natural in the skies. You see, let me show you that's the before. Before, the sky is a little too much HDR, and after, I try to make it a little darker, a little more natural. And now I want to get more details here. This is so cool. So I'm going to create a new layer, a new adjustment layer. I'm going to try my super detailed preset because I got a super detailed preset, which is here. Boom. Okay, and I'm going to make things. Now you see how it's ugly on the top here? Because I use a layer, I'm only looking at what I'm going to do here. And I just want to bring back details here. So then I'm going to take a brush. And this time I'm going to put the brush at about 50%. I don't want to bring back all the details. I'm going to brush back just the details here. So now we have details here and there. And now I'm ready to do a double exposure. So that's the before and that's the after. Quite impressive. I'm going to apply this.
I have a question for you, Serge. How do you fix you see how the sensor, the end of the horizon is like curved because of the lens of the drone?
What did you say?
How do you fix, you know how the horizon is all curved? It's all curvy because of the sensor of the
you
drone?
can fix that in Photoshop. I'll show that to you in Photoshop.
Okay.
Because when it's curvy like this, you cannot do it in Lightroom. So now I'm ready to do like a bit of a double development. Maybe I bring down the highlights. Not too much. You don't want to bring, like, this is ugly. I rather have like a big glow than, you know, I'm going to check my black point. You want some true black and my white point. Okay. And so the horizon is because he used I mean, this is really hard to shoot on the drone. You did a really good job. I mean, I probably would go in there and, you know, add some brush strokes to even get more details there, because I really want this to be the star. I mean, this is such a cool drawing, you know. I don't like the colors so much, so I think I'm maybe going to use a profile. I'm going to go into the light profile and see if I can alter the color. My Lightroom cracked. That happens.
And remember, guys, all of the presets that you're seeing, all of the profiles that you're seeing here on Serge's screen, those are all the signature presets and profiles that you'll be getting in the package as well.
Okay, sorry about that. It's funny that I updated my Lightroom. Every time I update Lightroom, I get like little bugs like this. Okay, now I have to go back to where I was. So let's go back to Student.
For the Mac, if it's time for the iMac Pro, Serge.
Yeah, you know what? I was going to go buy it, but then I heard they're coming up with a new Mac Pro. Because I was going to buy that because it's a $7,000 one. And then, you know, apparently next month they might be releasing a new Mac Pro. I'm like, oh, I'm going to wait. Hold on, I have to go back to my Dropbox. And, in the wrong catalog now. Sorry, I have to change catalog.
Yeah, and again, for those of you hanging with us, we've only got about 15 minutes left that we're going to be offering this package. So make sure if you're ready to take advantage of this, you do it right now. You get the logo bonus course, you get the Batman course. You know, we've got some amazing opportunities for you to really step into this academy. It's just extraordinary.
Yeah, we're only taking 25 people. If you can make it, that'd be awesome. I can't wait to see your photos. I cannot retouch everybody's photo this morning. I'm just going to do a couple of retouching. I want to finish this one. I'm sorry, I got a little bug here. I'm relaunching my Lightroom with the right catalog. And voila. Let's see here. Okay, let me see if I can find back the one it was from Gary. So I'm going to press Command F.
And did we get to Martin's? He was the donkey in Shrek who wanted us to.
Yeah, that's who I'm retouching. That's his photo here, right here. Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah, I'm back. Gary King. Okay, now if I wanted to make this straight, Charlie, and this is for you, I would go to Edit.
It's just that sometimes I feel that the profile correction in Lightroom doesn't really work with the drone very well. So I don't really know how the adapted, maybe wide angle, but that doesn't really work really well sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, so for this, I go to Photoshop. And there's two ways to go about it. I'm going to press Command J to put this on its own layer. You can try to filter the adaptive wide angle filter. Sometimes it does miracles.
Yeah, sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't really catch the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So I try, to see if it catches the line, and then you have to press Shift until it becomes, and then you can do that. And then you can even, wow, Lightroom keeps on breaking. I'm sorry about that. Reopen. Oops. Sorry, back on Photoshop. Let's see here. No. Okay, well, that's kind of one way, but she didn't correct it. The other way you can do is you just press Command T, and that's kind of like hard style, and you go to the warping tool, and you can just by hand just make this straight.
Oh, okay. You see, that's something really simple I never thought about.
You know, and that kind of works every time because you really can alter the pixel however you want, you know.
Right. Okay, well, thank you. That really, really helped a lot. Thank you so much, Serge.
Yeah. And, you know, I would spend more time, but that's the AD before and after.
Right.
Okay, cool. So, Gary, thank you for that. So now I'm going to go to Mr. Steinmetz. I'm going to go to your Porto Vecchio files. which is here. Command F. You see, I just put your name here, and boom, boom, boom. It's a crazy sunset. So Einstein. Okay, we should see it here.
And just remember, guys, that for those of you who, if we don't get to yours today, remember, Serge, when you're a part of the Academy, Serge does this every week, and it's an intimate audience, and Serge is able to get to everyone. So if you're looking for that level of mentorship, take us up on this offer right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Florence many times, but I've never seen such a sunset. You get really lucky. So that's the normal exposure. That's the overexposure. That's the underexposure. Look at this. I mean, it's really rare for a RAW file. I mean, is it developed a little bit, or because it's so strong in colors, it's unbelievable.
Wow.
So again, yeah. All right. So in this one, I'm going to throw them into Aurora, but I'm also going to take the normal exposure and just do my regular workflow and use. Now on this one, the sunset is, I'm going to use my sunset workflow, sunset here, sunset light, but you see it's already so much red, it doesn't work. So on this one, when the sunset is so crazy, I go by hand. I don't use a preset. I just open the shadows. I'm doing the white point, and I don't hesitate to do it by hand like this. Maybe even brighter a little bit so we can see what's going on. I think it's a little too blue. So, I mean, this is such a crazy sunset. It's unbelievable. Hold on. While I'm doing this version, I have Aurora aligned. I'm going to create HDR in Aurora, and then we'll compare the result. Okay. Let's see here. Contrast, it's so strong. Look, I don't want to add even more contrast. I'm even going to do like minus clarity. And
I find it's weird how he shot at ISO 1000 for that photo.
oh, yeah, I didn't see that. So that's a big mistake because he's at 160 and you were at 24 millimeters. So at 24 millimeter, you can be at 124 and be like ISO 200 because now look at this. You got all this noise. And the problem is that now you cannot make a nice print of it. And I mean, I've been to Florence many times. I've never seen a sunset like this. So look at this all noise because it was shot. You should have been at 1/30th of a second, f5, ISO 200, and you would have gotten a lot less noise.
Yeah, and the water would have been even nicer too.
Yeah. So I'm going to reduce the noise, sharpening, the masking. Not much I can do. You see, this is good for the web, but you cannot print it because you shot it at 1000 ISO. So that's unfortunate when you have such a great photo. And then on this one, I'm going to create a little mask. I just want to, make the sky pop a little bit. And then, so I'm trying to do a lot more natural than what you did. I'm going to compare. Okay, so that's the natural version, 16:9. That's your version, which is kind of cool, but it lacks contrast and it looks kind of unnatural. It looks a little muddy there. I prefer this version where it's a little darker, but it's more natural. Let's see here. I was just before sunrise. Wow, cool. All right, so here I am. This is my PhotoSearch Basic preset. I'm in Aurora. And let's see if I can do better. It's such a noisy photo, so I'm going to take out some noise here. And on this one, I kind of like the sky. I want to do something about I mean, if you get up, Mr. Steinmetz, if you get up to do a sunrise and you get a sunrise like this, please have a tripod and please be at 100 ISO. It will change your life. Anyway, I'm gonna go to local details and add a bit of exposure. So I'll create a new adjustment layer. You see now all the noise is coming out. I'm gonna boost the exposure. All I want is have more light. And I'm gonna do like a smart tone also. A little bit more light just for the city, but not for, it's horrible when it does in sky. So I'm using things locally just to bring back some details in the Ponte Vecchio bridge. I love my favorite bridge in Florence. You see, and here this is muddy, so I'm going to go to erase, and I'm just going to erase that. I don't want this to be muddy. And the problem also is when you shoot at 100 ISO, 1000 ISO, the photo is really ruined, so it's really hard to retouch. It creates all kind of problems. I wish you had this at 100 ISO. Okay, not much more I can do in Aurora because it's lacking of, it was, so I think this is the version that I like the most. I like that better. You cannot print it because if you zoom in, you'll see all the noise. But I mean, your version is kind of cool too. I just think I would make it a little darker. I would make the black points a little darker on your version. Just a little tiny bit. And that's my version from Aurora. But again, shut at 1000 ISO, so there's not much I can do. Okay, let's see what else we got here.
And Anton also asked that you check your email. He's got something important to tell you about the Hollywoodens.
Okay, I'll check it out right now. Anton is from Russia. He's been helping me on promoting the Hollywoodens. In case you don't know this, guys, I came out with a movie on Amazon called The Hollywoodens. I'm going to give you the link in the chat right now if you can get a chance to check it out. Well, I didn't see his email, but that's fine. I'm just going to put it. I guess he just wants me to put the link there. So here it is. That's the link of my movie. It's available on Amazon. If you didn't see it and if you can watch it and leave a review, that'd be so amazing. It's a comedy about Hollywood, but the crazy French guy was trying to make it into Hollywood. It's doing pretty well. It's the best rated indie movie on IMDb, believe it or not. It's got 9.1 rating on IMDb, which is unheard of for an indie film. But that's thanks to some of my hardcore fan. Thank you so much. Anyways. Let's see here. Oh, look at that! This is beautiful. Look at how sharp that photo is. It's but that's already retouched. It's beautiful. I love it. This is really nice. Let's see here. What else we got? Let me look it into the.
And guys, just so you know, we've got 4 more minutes, so we're going to be shutting down in 4 minutes. If we don't get your photo today, make sure you take us up on the offer so you can join Serge in the Photo Serge Academy. We look forward to seeing you there. Yeah, I'm just excited.
Yeah, so that's a great subject, but look at the colors. Like the lion has got the same color in the background. So the only way to solve that is to go to the special effect presets, and I'm going to go into make it into a dramatic black and white. I'm going to take darker, and then I'm going to just play around with the light because so I'm going to go to the circle, put a circle on his face. Put a circle maybe on this part of the body, put a circle on this part of the body, put a circle on this part of the body, and on this part maybe. No, you don't want to do it too much, so I'm going to erase this one. And okay, on this one, I'm going to make this a little higher. I really want to make pop. Maybe this, add more contrast, make it darker. And I'm going to relight him with a brush. I'm going to relight him with a brush because you know that's the only way to make a separation. The colors being exactly the same, you cannot play on colors. So I'm overdoing it with a brush right now. And then I'm going to make it go lower. Something like this. And I think it's a little too strong here. So voila. Before, after. And, you know, maybe boost the white a little bit more, something like this. Voila. That seems to be a nice photo. Oh, okay, sorry. Let me look at the chat because people are talking. People are talking on the chat.
Hey, Serge, I see some of those real estate panels that you have down there in your reel. Is there a chance that you can retouch one of those?
Yeah, I mean,
What's going on with that? Is that like a panel? How is that? Why?
I don't know. Is it a panel? Yeah,
oh,
it looks like it's a 360. It's a 360 panel. You need a special software. This is to do like a VR, and you can totally do that in Autopano, which I don't have, or I mean I do have, but it takes a lot of time. I have a whole course on that, and that gets you a virtual reality shot. You know,
it says a shadow with a fisheye here in the info.
Fisheye. Yeah. Wow. It's the classic virtual reality. You have to have basically 6 photos. 4. You get a 360 and then 1 for the top, which you see here, and 1 for the bottom.
And the software stitches it for you?
Here. And the software, you just put it into Autopano, and it makes like a VR.
Oh, okay.
And you can just, you know, move around it and stuff. Yeah, it's a little too advanced for this little 5 minute retouching thing. Let's see here. Let me see if something gives me some inspiration. That's kind of cool. I think on this one, I'm going to try sunset. It might be too much. You got to be very careful when you use my sunset preset because it adds a lot of colors. So if it, like for me, this looks way too fake. So when it does that, just go to golden hour. Golden hour is much lighter and it's going to look less fake. Something like that. You see? Wow, look at that. And that's just the starting point. And then I'm just going to do the blacks, the whites, add a bit of contrast. And, and here is the colors. The colors are coming from this circle. I'm just making sure it's at the right place. You can always turn it down if you think it's too much, It also adds a bit of a diffuse in the sky. On this one, I would make this a little brighter. And this one makes things darker. I would go like this. Okay, we're wrapping up in 2 seconds. Let me see on the chat if somebody's praying for... I'm sorry, Renato, I don't have time to import another photo.
What about Elizabeth? Do you have time to rescue mine? Disro?
Oh, yeah, Anton, I have not received your email. That's weird. I got to check. I mean, I do get an email, but I always look for your email. I'm going to look if it's not in spam. Because sometimes emails from Russia do end up in spam. I don't know why, but that's how it is. Thierry from France is saying... So Thierry.nef. Let me just check if I've got this Thierry photo, and that'll be the last one before we wrap up. So guys,
if we didn't get to you today, I've got the link. I just put the link in here again, special $2.99. If we didn't get to you today and you want this weekly in a small group with direct mentorship from Serge, click the link and get started today.
I don't know if that is it. This is Thierry. It's a nice photo. You can see it's sharp. So again, big mistake. Never go to ISO 400 at 1/500 of a second. Go to 1/100 and ISO 400. The rule is, guys, always shoot at 100. Now, this one I would use like one of my day preset. I don't want to go black and white every time. So just something like this, boom, day preset, and voila. Maybe add a bit of profile just to make things more crazy. Like, if you want to go like very dramatic like this, look at that. Look at this profile, what it does. Profile completely alters the color, okay? So, all right, that was the last one. I'm gonna shoot the before and after. And thank you so much for coming, guys. Now, if you still see the offer on YouTube, for the people watching on YouTube, if the link still works for you, you can still grab it. We still have a few seats left. And sorry I couldn't get to everybody's thing, but if you do take the offer, and you come in the Academy every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. I'll be retouching your photos. Charlie, thank you so much for being there. You got to follow Charlie Simon put your Instagram account in the chat. You got to follow Charlie. Charlie is one of my most successful students. He really turned my training into a very successful business. If you want inspiration, follow Charlie Simon.
Well, thank you so much, guys. And again, get the course $2.99. Only to put like 5 or 6 presets together for a professional is $2.99. So you're getting all these courses, all these amazing Photo Search Academy, which you get private tutoring. I mean, it's a steal. Get it. It'll change your life. Trust me, it changed mine.
Thank you so much, Charlie. You're too nice. Thank you, Mike. And see you in another video.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.